Welcome to Virtual Coffee with Jagadish in the Parnika Tutorials YouTube channel. Today we have a guest called Mr. Bhavani Prasad, currently working as a software specialist in Nokia systems on the cloud computing platform in Hungary. He has totally 9 years of experience in several IT industries. So today he has accepted my request to share his knowledge and experience with all our viewers. Thank you, Bhavani Prasad, for accepting my request. It is my pleasure to do an interaction with you.
Thank you, sir. Have seen your contribution towards the CSC and IT community of the students. Your efforts and hard work are impeccable, and I'm glad to participate in this conversation with you and happy to share my views with your viewers.
Thank you once again, Bhavani Prasad. Can my viewers know about your family background?
Basically, I'm from Srikakulam district of Andhra Pradesh, which is a quite remote place called Siripuram village, which is 30 kilometers away from the district headquarters. My parents are basically are farmers, and I had couple of siblings, a brother and sister. So yeah, my background is about completely a farming background, sir.
Oh, that's wonderful. Farmers are the backbone for our country. So, can I know your education qualifications?
Uh, Initially, I started a schooling in the a small private school and in my village, so which is quite remote place. So there was no English medium back in those days, and I got a placement in the one of the government schools after seventh class. So I got to move to the place called Simhachalam near Vizag. After that, I chose to join the AP Residential Junior Colleges, which is near Tirupati, called Venkatagiri. So all these years, I was done my pursued my studies in Telugu medium. Later, I got to shift my gear. I wanted to join. I wanted to be a professor, to be honest, and I wanted to be a mathematical professor. I got a degree seat in the Arts College Srikakulam, but later I got an opportunity in the second counseling. I got an opportunity join with Bachelor of Technologies. I joined in Sri Shivani College of Engineering near Chilkapalam and close to the Srikakulam district, and again in Andhra Pradesh. So that was my educational background, sir. So I just finished. I mean, in 2011, I finished my Bachelor of Technologies in Information Technology.
In BTech, you would have studied in English medium. How difficult it is for you to cope up the things when you start studying in English medium?
Initially, I felt really tough, except few subjects. Let's say in engineering first year in information technology branch, uh, a few things are few subjects are doesn't matter with respect to of the language. For example, C language and the mathematics and all. Language really doesn't matter for those subjects, but subjects like applied physics, uh, we also have a subject called EDC, and there are some subjects which we have to deal with English. So I got to spend some extra time in the library, and I've got very good friends in my branch. So I used to talk to the people, and I used to talk to my professors and my HOD to earn more knowledge. And I used to spend lots of time in the library to gain more knowledge. Of course, I struggled a lot in the first year. I could only get comfortable. I only got comfortable after I reached third year. So there was lots of efforts from myself and also from several professors. So there are few professors in my college who helped me a lot uh, to shape up myself. So yes, so I got to spend some extra time, sir, to attain this communication skills whatever and cope up with English medium.
I know the pain behind it, and it will be very difficult if someone studied up to 12th class in their own medium, whether it is a Telugu medium or Tamil medium, then studying BTech in English medium, it will be very difficult. I can understand your pain. I came to know that after your BTech, you got a placement offer from Persistent Systems Limited. Can my viewers know much about it?
It was a surprise to me as well, because I wasn't expecting this was coming to me. Um Certainly, this was an off campus from my college. I still remember I missed my college bus to reach the other college, which is GMRIT, which is close to our college. So this was an off campus for the four different engineering colleges happened at one place. So about this persistent company, they are not really focused on the communication skills. So they need people who are very strong in the technology instead of the communication skills. So that there was an advantage to me because I know that I was not really strong in communication skills, but technology I can really manage. I mean, I have some strong hold on those few subjects in information technology. So yeah, this was an off-campus opportunity, and I was really proud back in those days that I was the only person selected from my college. And then that was really proud moment to me and to my family as well.
So, can I know the eligibility criteria for Persistent Systems Limited?
As I mentioned, this company is basically it has headquarters in Pune, and it also has several branches in across the India. For example, it has branch in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Nagpur. So Hyderabad branch is quite it's not too big, neither small nor big, but the people that it has, all of them are well competent people because, as I mentioned, they don't really focus on your communication skills, but they need people who are very strong on the technology. So they know that they can groom these people in the communication skills within a year or 1.5 years. So they know that already. So they pick their specialty is to they go to the remote places like for example, Srikakulam is kind of a remote place from Hyderabad, but still they come, they travel, and they don't pick thousands of people from different colleges, but they pick very few. As I said, four different colleges went to the GMRIT to attend the off campus. They just picked five people. So, you know, they always look for the creamy people, of course, who are very strong in the technology.
Can I know how many rounds are there? Like we will have a written test, we will have a technical round, and we will have a HR. Does Persistent also have these rounds or any extra rounds?
No, sir, pretty similar, but the way they conduct these interviews are different from other companies, I would say. So they have the written test first, followed by two levels of technical rounds of interviews, and then HR round, of course. And surprising part for me was that I've seen several companies are conducting this written test in a way that there are some technical questions, of course, and some aptitude related test, some questions. So this written test is completely different from the other ones. This has completely technical questions in the written test as a fresher. So as I said, if you are really strong on your technology part, for example, one programming language, Unix, operating systems, DLD, uh, these are the four or five subjects I see that you need to have a very good knowledge on it, and then I think you can really crack this written test. After that, couple of technical round interviews. The first round basically about they really ask some basic questions, syntaxes, and few things. I hope still people can clear it. But the second round, bit difficult. There you have to go with some more level of programming knowledge because they always look for the people who are very strong in the programming. So there you need to know data structures, trees. Uh, there is no surprise. In fact, for me, they've asked me to write some data structure program itself. The good thing is that they don't force you to write down in few minutes. They give you enough amount of time. For me, I took 35 minutes to write down a program. So you will get your time. So what you need to know is you have to carry some confidence with you, and of course, you need to know this programming advances technologies like data structures, queues, stacks, everything. So this was the pattern, sir. But I'm sure this HR round is similar to the any other company. So this wasn't difficult, but by the time I gave this my HR round, HR already knew that I'm very poor in my communication skills. They asked me to join some soft skills classes to improve my communication skills. So they gave me an opportunity to learn communication skills by the time I joined company. So I did that. So partly I improved by the time I joined Person Systems Limited.
You are keep on saying that programming questions they will ask, like data structures are. So now we can do data structures using C, data structures using C++, data structures using Python.
Mhm.
Like, are they forced you to write using C or C++ or your own wish?
That is completely our choice, sir. So they wouldn't say anything. In fact, for me, they did not say any programming language. So you can choose your programming language, but you need to give the logic for them. So for me, they didn't even care about the syntaxes as well. So they only cared about the algorithm, let's say, so the key algorithm. So program, as I said, the programming, at least as a fresher, I don't think they will enforce us to choose the programming language. I mean, we can choose. So they don't give. Uh, they won't ask like you have to write it in Java or C, C++. So I wrote it in C language, sir, so as I was strong in C language back in those days.
That's good. You mentioned that there are four engineering colleges who have attended this off campus. Can you
Mhm.
list out the name of those colleges if you remember them correctly?
I remember three of them, sir. One is GMR IT College, of course. Another one, Shivani College of Engineering, which is mine. Uh, and I remember JNTU Anantapur. So it was surprise to me as well because people have traveled from Anantapur to Srikakulam district to attend this interview. So I remember three of them. If I'm not wrong, I think there was an item as well. So, but I'm not sure
Okay.
about it, sir. But three of them, yeah.
So around 400, 500 students would have attended this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, oh,
They didn't even pick a guy from Anantapur JNTU. I remember one from myself from Sevani College of Engineering and three from GMRIT College. So four of us they picked.
okay. So out of 500 to 600 people, uh, getting a job opportunity out of four, that will be wonderful experience. I think that was the most wonderful experience in your life. Am I right?
I still remember that moment when HR said that I was selected for Person System Limited, which is it is still revolve around my eyes all the time. So it was emotional as well, sir. Yeah.
So, in which technologies you have worked in Persistent Systems Limited?
Before I explain what technologies, I would also want to convey one more thing to the viewers, that I was asked to train on Ruby on Rails, which is a certain programming language, let's say technology. I've been given this training. I mean, I was under this training for 1.5 months, maybe 2 months. After that, there was no projects on this technology. So things have changed within 2 months. So then immediately I was asked to work on a cloud computing, which is based on which is based on Python, a bit of shell scripting, bit of chef automation tools. So there are some automation tools. We choose an automation tool called chef. So these are the three major technologies which I worked on. So what I wanted to convey to you viewers is that you may train on different technology, but you may ask to work on different technology. So be prepared for it.
Yeah, this will happen in several MNC companies because initially they will train you for one technology. Maybe because some other project suddenly came, they may ask you to join for it. You should be always prepared for it. So,
Absolutely.
if you don't mind, I came to know that you shifted to TCS. So, how many years you have worked in Persistent Systems Limited?
It was close to 3 years, sir. So from 2011 to 2014, I was with Persistent Systems Limited. I worked on majorly, my contribution was in cloud computing, a bit of coding. The coding was in Python and a chef automation tool. So the name is slightly interesting because it's a chef. I mean, so that's an automation tool. So together Python plus Chef, we built our own cloud product in Persistent Systems Limited. But after 3 years, I got another opportunity in the same city, Hyderabad, and then I shifted to the other company, TCS.
So, can I know the interview process
Mm,
in TCS?
absolutely, sir. So one of my friend referred me in TCS because he was my ex-colleague, and then he shifted first, and then he referred me there. So there was still cloud computing is in boom. So because lots of applications, lots of companies wanted to move their data to the cloud, onto the cloud. So this cloud computing technology is still in good pace. So lots of networking companies like Ericsson, Huawei, Airtel, Vodafone, several companies are interested to move their data onto the cloud. All networking companies. So the cloud computing was in boom, is still in boom. So there were several openings in TCS. So there was an interview. It is this time it is not for, it doesn't have 4 rounds. It only has 3 rounds. I only had 3 rounds. So one is two rounds of technical interviews and then HR round. So there was no written test in TCS. I hope it's because of the experienced person. So that was the reason that I could think of. But there was 3 rounds of interviews.
In the technical round, what kind of questions they used to ask for you?
This time it is different because in earlier as a fresher when I gave interview to the persistent company, they would ask you. I mean, they asked me to write down some syntaxes. They asked me to write down some programs and all. But this time it is different. As an experienced guy, I don't think people will ask you write down programs there. So this time they give me some scenarios. They give me some situations that and they asked me to how would I respond to it. So they gave me some problem statements and they gave me some error statements. So now I have to predict or understand. I have to understand that how to resolve it. So they keep me in situation. They kept me in a situation and then they asked me that what could be the solution for this problem. So you can't really say that I am good in programming and I write down programs and all. So as an experienced guy, I don't think you will be asked to write down programs in the interview.
I can clearly understand the thing because when you are giving an interview in persistent, you are a fresher. So they will focus mainly on the data structures. Can you able to write the programming? You know the basics of operating system, computer networks, etc., etc. But when you are giving the interview in TCS, you are an experienced person. So you would in persistent, you would have done several projects. Maybe they would have focused more on those projects. Am I right?
Exactly, sir. So, this interview completely driven through my resume because whatever I write down in the resume, you have to expect questions on that. So you will get many questions on the product itself because the the persons who took my interview definitely they are an experienced guy. So they have certainly have good idea on the products and all. So you will be asked to answer those questions, those kind of questions, not at the programming level, definitely.
I came to know that after working several years in TCS, you got an opportunity to go to Hungary. Can my viewers know about it?
Exactly, sir. So after I shifted to TCS in Hyderabad, uh, it was a cloud computing again. But this time, back in Persistent, I only worked on proof of concepts, which doesn't really shaped up as a project, as a product in Persistent. But this time in TCS, we were really working for a product. So we are building a product there. So that means there are customers for this product. It is going to the live and people are using for it. So I can't reveal some information people have worked for in TCS. I mean the customer information and all, but still I worked for a very good company in networking background. So it was a real-time cloud product. So I have done several POCs as well back in initial 1 year. Then my customer really impressed with my work within a year, and they asked me to travel to Hungary from TCS. So yeah, so you have to prove yourself, uh, be it a POC or write down some good algorithms or good implementations and finish some good features and all. In any way, you can get this opportunity, but I got it through doing some proof of concepts.
Now, after joining in TCS, in how many years you got this opportunity?
I joined TCS around end of 2014, sir, and then I was asked to I was here in Hyderabad for 1.5 years, and then I traveled to Hungary.
The Hungary is in, I think, in Europe. Am I right?
Exactly, sir. It is in Europe.
Okay. Can my viewers know about that country? Like, what are
Absolutely.
the best visiting places? How the culture is different to India?
There's a quite contrast between India and Hungary, of course, because the I don't know how to describe, but the weather is completely different and people are different from here, and the language is different, of course. And that is a very small country, having population of 90 lakhs, which is less than a population of Hyderabad city. It has more population than Hungary country itself. So the people are really sweet. The only problem you would face is a language. So I don't see too many people from Hungary are speaking English. I was struggling for 1.5 years, let's say 2 years, uh, to find the people who can speak English. But in office environment, 100% people will speak English. So you don't find uncomfortable in the office. But once you come out from the office, you may find some difficulty in any of the Europe countries except London because that's an English speaking country. So the language is still a problem, but now I'm living there for like 5.5 years, so I manage things there. So
What language they use for communication?
in office, absolutely English, but outside, they use Magyar. So Magyar is their language name. In English, they call Hungarian. So
Do you learn that language?
Nem, sir. Okay. Nem is the word for no. I didn't learn it.
At least can you say the word called hi, how are you in that language?
Uh, yes. Let's say if you want to say hi to the one person, they call Sia. Uh,
Okay.
if you want to say hi for the multiple peoples, more than one, that means they say it Siyastok. Uh, I think that is all. That is all I know, sir. Not much.
Okay, in last 5 years you have learned only hi and no everything.
I know few more words, but yeah.
So it is a new environment for you, and it is a small country, and you faced several difficulties in communication. How you used to manage yourself?
Initially, I was struggling to go out because of this language problem. Because nobody was open to talk to you. Initially, I felt like I was not welcoming there. This is not in the office premises. It is I'm talking about outside of the office. But inside the office, people are really really helpful, and they always try to help me. They know that I'm going to be struggled in that location. So yeah, I've got couple of friends in the office, Hungarian colleagues, who helped me a lot to find everything, to find my living space, to find the office commute, how to go and come back and all. It was tough for 6 months, really really tough for initial 6 months. But after that, once I know the few things, at least the transportation and the uh, other stuff like the food and all, everything I got familiar with in 6 months. So then after that, I was comfortable, sir.
What will be the cost of living in Hungary?
It changes from person to person, but in general, uh, as I see it, I've seen maybe you have to pay 40,000 rupees a rent, a minimum rent for the one bedroom apartment. After that, one person to live, to find the groceries and food items, you have to spend 10,000 rupees, let's say, per month. And the transportation would cost some 3,000 rupees per month. Uh, Probably a phone bill would cost some 2,000 rupees. So these are the few expenses you cannot avoid. But after that, if you keep going to the outside to eat your food and all, it is even expensive. So each meal would cost 500 rupees outside, as simple as that.
Can I know the best visiting places in Hungary?
Of course, the capital city where I live is called Budapest. Uh, one of the uh, one of the beautiful city in entire Europe. Of course, it is not famous as other European countries like Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and Paris and France. But this city is as much beautiful as other cities in Europe. So Budapest is one city that you will definitely love. And there are instead of cities, Europe is quite famous for the small towns. So the place called a small village called Szentendre, which is close to the Budapest city, that is even beautiful. And uh, there is a very big lake in Hungary country called Balaton, which is second biggest lake in the entire Europe. It has 220 kilometers of perimeter, so which is quite big. So that lake is it looks like a ocean, but quite big. But it's quite big lake. So that is another beautiful place in Hungary. So these are all one day you can travel from capital city and come back. So these are a few places that you can visit, sir.
I came to know that after working in TCS for several years, you shifted to Nokia systems. Can I know about it?
Absolutely, sir. So recently, exactly an year ago, I shifted from TCS Hungary to Nokia systems in Hungary itself. So I really like the country and the people there, and I'm more impressed with their work culture. So I really wanted to stay there and work with those people. So, but unfortunately, my visa didn't permit to do that. If I stay in TCS, I got to switch, and then I can extend my visa through the other company. So I got an opportunity in Nokia Systems in Hungary itself. In fact, in the same city, Budapest, capital city. So yes, and then my visa got extended, and then I shifted to Nokia.
What is the process to get the job in Nokia Systems?
Actually, it's not that easy. As a foreigner, it's not that easy to shift company in places like Hungary, because they are very much, I wouldn't say conservative, but the language is the biggest problem for them. They are good in English, people who are working in software industry, but still, there is no reason for them to hire a foreigner instead of the local guy. But all you need to have is a bit of reference. Somebody has to give you a reference that there's a guy who is very good in this technology, and then the persons who are hiring you will have to convince with this request. So this is how I got it, sir. I have a friend in Nokia, Hungary. So he gave me the reference first, and then I got again the same process, sir. So a couple of technical rounds of interviews, and the, of course, HR round, and the managerial round as well. So this is how I got through this interview, and placed in the Nokia Hungary.
Okay, I think you are working from last 1 year in Nokia Systems. Are you still working in cloud computing platform or you have changed the platform?
No, sir. I'm still, since beginning of my career, I'm still continue working on the cloud computing technology itself. But there is a difference. I always upgrading myself, because the automation tools have changed, and the Python versions have been keep on changing, and the product that we use, called OpenStack, is a cloud product which is open source. So they started releases from alphabet A. Now they have reached till, even they have reached till U. That means they have more than 20 releases. So I have to adapt all these releases from the beginning, and then upgrading myself. So yes, you're right. I'm still working on the cloud computing technology, sir.
As you said, initially for 6 months in Hungary, you suffered a lot. Now, what are the things you are doing? Like, what are the hobbies you have adopted so that you can refresh yourself?
As I mentioned, I was really impressed with their work culture. So you don't get stressed. You won't be asked to work your extra time there. So all you have to do is spend your office hours on your work and finish your tasks, and you will get immense support from your colleagues. You can always talk to the architects, and they are open to talk, and you get enough suggestions and enough ideas from your colleagues. So this will help me to finish my tasks on time, so that you will have your own time to spend with your family or alone. So there, people are really athletic. People are really into sports in Hungary. So you will be motivated for sure if you are there. I'm motivated too. So I'm very much interested in several sports like cycling, and I'm also interested in the running, and I play quite a lot of cricket there. So lots of Indian colleagues and Indian friends are there. So not just from India, from Asian countries. So the people are really interested in cricket, and I play quite a lot of cricket there.
Is the COVID effect is there in Hungary country or not there?
It is, fortunately, it is not. Hungary is not affected as much as any other countries in the world, because it is a small country, and there are very good rules imposed from the government there, and people are really followed them. So that country is not affected as much as other countries, as I said. So now, I think, if I'm not wrong, 70% people have given two sorts of vaccination there. So there are no restrictions anymore in Hungary country. So it's a mask-free country as of now.
You are working in cloud platforms from several years. If any fresher who is interested in that platform, what are the technologies he or she should learn before joining in any company?
One suggestion to the viewers who are interested in cloud computing, it is not much about the coding and doing things. It is not about coding, because nowadays, if you see, it is all about integrations. So there are lots of companies who are delivering their products, making products as open source. So all we need to do is collect different products from open source, and you have to integrate the products and make it one. That is how we are building since beginning. So in 2011, we used to develop lots of code to build a cloud product. But right now, we are not writing any more code much, except automating things. Of course, this is why tools like Puppet, tools like Ansible, tools like Chef, they are very famous nowadays, because you have to automate your things, all installation steps. Take one of them and automate it. So I would say, uh, in terms of programming language, I would prefer to learn Python, shell scripting a bit. Of course, I think the amount of knowledge that we gain from the BTech should be good enough. in shell scripting, in the Unix subject, I think, uh, and Python. Besides that, one automation tool, be it a Puppet, be it Chef, be it Ansible. Learn one automation tool. These are the three technologies I would propose to learn.
Can you suggest the resources from where the viewers can learn about these automation tools?
It is available in open source. There are lots of videos in the YouTube channels. Lots of their official websites itself are very good to learn these things. Even myself, if I get some doubts in these technologies, I would really prefer to go to their own website, and because it really has a very good documentation, so that is good enough to solve your problems. So yeah.
Being from a rural area, you studied in Sevani Engineering College. How difficult for you to cope up with things like joining in persistent? How difficult for you?
Certainly, the communication was my biggest problem from the beginning. You wouldn't believe I don't even have a words speaking in English to ask a leave to my manager. Uh, so I was struggling to ask a leave, and my manager said that if you struggle in English, if you cannot speak, she asked me to write down in the notepad and submit the letter to her for the leave. This was how I was in early days of my career. So this was one of my biggest struggle. And another thing, of course, the resources, as I mentioned, sir, I didn't even have my laptop with me. I didn't even have my personal computer to practice, be it a programming language, and do any other projects. Of course, my friends helped me a lot in this case, so I get some time to use their laptops to practice my technical skills. Problem is commute to college from a remote place, so I used to be late to the colleges. I used to miss my first class all the times because of there was no good transportation back in those days. So these are few struggles, but I really liked. I used to spend lots of time in the college library, and yeah. So after college, I used to spend 2-3 hours in the library itself. So this is how I have overcome some of my problems.
You have completed your BTech in 2011. Right now it is 2021. And the students are studying in online mode because of the COVID and other issues. Can you give any suggestions for them to improve their chances to get a job in good MNC?
I see this new trend of the online classes in recent days because of the COVID circumstances. Certainly these classes are not effective as on board classes, so we have to be careful. As students, we have to be careful while listening to the classes. More importantly, I'm still suffering that I couldn't spend much time when I was doing my BTech in the studies. So you don't get time once you joined any of these companies to learn something new. So now, students, I would really recommend you guys to spend more time on learning new things, because you have ample amount of time to learn something new. And I would also suggest you guys to focus more on one programming language and operating systems, Unix and shell scripting, DLD. These are the subjects that I would really recommend you guys to learn and focus more on to be into the any of the MNC companies.
You have worked in cloud computing platform. That's why in just 9 years of span, your career growth is very good. Any similar technologies right now is having more job opportunities or more growth in the industry?
Yes, there are more technologies besides this cloud computing technology in recent days. I would recommend students to focus more on data science, because I see lots of people are using lots of data consumption and lots of statistics around. So to maintain that, there is a need of data science expertise. Besides the data science, I would also recommend people to focus on is that machine learning, artificial intelligence. I still see these two things are not materialized 100%. There is lots of requirement for these two technologies. If you have some time as a student, I would really recommend you to spend some time on it and learn something, basics at least, and then you can be professional at later phase of time. So these are the 3 to 4 technologies that you can focus on these current days.
Thank you, Bhavani Prasad. Whatever the interaction we did for last 40 minutes will be very, very useful for the students. Even I am also very much motivated with your discussion. You are born in a rural area in Andhra Pradesh, and with limited resources, you have completed 10th class and intermediate in Telugu medium. And then you got the BTech seat in Sivani Engineering College. During that time also you have faced several issues with the communication skills, but however you have overcome them. And even you have informed to me that you don't have a desktop at your home to practice the programming things. However, you have improved yourself a lot and got a job in persistent technologies. Out of 400 students or 500 students, if we correctly remember, you said the students from several engineering colleges, like four engineering colleges like GMRIT, Aditya Engineering College like ITAM, Sivani Engineering College, and JNT Anantapur. Only four members are selected in that company. You are the one in. I'm very happy with the success. In just 9 years of time, you are in a better place in Nokia is not a simple thing. Getting a job in Nokia and that too in overseas is not a simple thing. I am very much happy and it is my pleasure to do an interview with you and even during your busy schedule. Thank you for accepting my request. I hope this interaction will be very, very useful for the students.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your kind words. I'm really glad that I participated in this conversation.
Any other words you want to say?
Uh, I'm really impressed the work that you have done to the student community in the YouTube channel of your Parnika tutorials. I personally follow your channel. I'm really impressed with the work that you've done in the operating systems and a few other subjects. I really follow your still I follow your channel and watch your videos. I'm sure this is helpful for the students. I see lots of viewers of is coming to your YouTube channel, and also I see some articles is popping up already in the news magazines and the newspapers as well. So I'm really glad for your work.
Thank you, Bhavani Prasad. It is my pleasure to do the activity for the students. During the COVID, several students are facing the issue with the quality education, and I need to provide free education. So, with that motive, I have recorded around 1,000 videos related to several courses. Till now, I have uploaded around 865 videos related to courses such as C programming, data structures, computer networks, computer organization, etc., etc. And recently, I have started two courses related to data science. There, I want to teach the basics of data science, statistics, and then I'm planning to teach machine learning and deep learning. And even I have started one more series called Python for the beginners. There, I want to teach the basic Python such as array, list, tuple, dictionary, object-oriented concepts. Then I want to teach few packages such as NumPy, Pandas, Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch, etc. I hope whatever the discussion we have done in last 40 minutes will be useful for all the students. Everyone has a dream to do the BTech in IITs, NITs, and through IITs. However, few students may not get it. So when they does not get such opportunities, they will be depressed. So my suggestion for all of them, getting a software job will not depend on which engineering college you are studying. It will only depend on in the 4 years of time, what are the courses you have learned? Everyone will study the curriculum like everyone, suppose someone is studying BTech CSC, they will study all the basic courses such as computer networks, computer organization, theory of computation, comparison, etc. etc. But you should study the latest technologies. One thing is that you should be very good at the basic programming languages such as C, C++. Apart from it, you should also study the concepts related to the latest technologies. And my sincere request to you too is focus on internships, get good internship opportunities. Nowadays, big companies such as Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Flipkart, all these things, they are hiring the people for internship. If their performance is very good during that internship period, they are giving the placement offers. So don't get disappointed if you're not studying in a good engineering college. Only one thing I can say, your chances of getting software job will not depend on in which institute you are studying. It will only depend on what are the technologies you are learning in the 4 years. Am I right, Bhavani?
100% true, sir. So that's a very good statement, a true statement as well. So getting job into the software industry doesn't depend on which college we have studied in. So it is about your capability, your hard work, and self belief.
If anyone still have any doubts or if I missed any question, you want to ask the questions or doubts regarding the career or the job opportunities in TCS or in Nokia or in persistent technology, you are always welcome to ask your questions in the YouTube comment section. Me or Bhavani Prasad always there to answer your questions. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.